South Sea blue. I love the color.
I was trying to decide out of a Rolls Royce or the 4x4 square. It's just
Got a lot of presents.
Roger Goodell spent months negotiating with one of the most powerful sovereign wealth funds on the planet. Meetings, proposals, bureaucratic approvals, owner votes. The whole slow machine of NFL politics grinding toward a deal that would give the league control over how Saudi Arabia's public investment fund enters American football. And then a rookie, a 5th-round pick who wasn't even supposed to have this kind of leverage, walked in, found a clause nobody else was using, and closed a $50 million deal in the time it took Goodell to schedule his next conference call. That is not an exaggeration. That is exactly what just happened. And the NFL is furious, embarrassed, and legally powerless to do anything about it. But here's what the mainstream coverage is missing. This isn't just about money. This isn't just about one player outsmarting one commissioner. This is the moment the NFL's century-old monopoly on player income cracked open, and Shedeur Sanders is the one holding the hammer. Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you're going to understand exactly why owners held an emergency meeting this morning, why Jerry Jones is demanding this loophole gets closed permanently, and why it's already too late to stop what's coming. Let's start with the clause itself, because this is the part nobody is explaining properly. When Shedeur's representation was reviewing his rookie contract, they found something buried in the standard language that most agents gloss over. A prime equity clause, a provision that allows players to independently secure international brand ambassador deals without league approval, as long as those deals don't directly compete with official NFL sponsorships. Most rookies have never heard of this clause. Most agents don't think to exploit it because, until now, the international money wasn't large enough to bother, but the landscape changed. The Middle East changed everything. Saudi Arabia's public investment fund, the same fund that owns Newcastle United, backs LIV Golf and has been pouring billions into global sports, has been circling American football for years. The NFL knew this. Goodell was negotiating what he believed would be an exclusive league-wide partnership. A deal that would give the NFL total control over how the PIF invested in the sport. He thought no individual player could go around that. He was wrong. Shedeur's team went directly to the PIF. No league involvement, no approval requests, no waiting. They presented the clause, structured the deal around it, and locked in $50 million for Shedeur to serve as the global ambassador for American football in the Middle East. The NFL found out when everyone else did, but from Shedeur's social media announcement, there was no heads-up call, no courtesy notice. The league learned about a deal that directly undercuts their international expansion strategy from an Instagram post. Let that sink in. Now, here's where the timing becomes surgical. Shedeur didn't drop this announcement on a random Tuesday. He dropped it on his birthday, the same birthday where he threw a private party in Canton, Texas with fireworks. As an exclusive guest list and zero media access. No NFL representatives, no league-mandated appearances, just his inner circle celebrating on his terms. And then, in the middle of that celebration, he announced a deal that sent shockwaves through every owner's group chat in the league. You think that's coincidence? That's not coincidence. That's a message. That's Shedeur looking directly at every front office that passed on him. Every analyst who questioned his character, every executive who thought falling to the 5th round would humble him, and saying clearly with a $50 million exclamation point, "You didn't humble me, you motivated me." Think about what the NFL tried to do on draft night. They let him fall. Round after round, teams passed. Teams that needed quarterbacks passed. The message the league was sending was deliberate. Fall in line, show deference, accept our process. Instead, Shedeur showed up to his first facility in an F8 Ferrari. Not the standard 488 you see in every music video. The F8, the upgraded model, the one most people don't even know exists yet. That's not an accident. That's someone communicating his position before a single word is spoken. And the position is this: I don't need you to pay me to live well. I need you to give me the opportunity to win. That sentence changes every negotiation. You cannot use fines as leverage against someone who earns more from endorsements than their NFL salary. You cannot threaten a holdout against someone who walked into the league with a Nike deal, a Gatorade partnership, and an NIL portfolio generating millions before he took a professional snap. The traditional rookie control structure, the one that keeps young players financially dependent and therefore cooperative, doesn't work on Shedeur Sanders, and the $50 million PIF deal just made that permanent. Now let's talk about what this means for the league. Us, because the emergency owner meeting this morning wasn't drama for the sake of drama. It was genuine panic. Jerry Jones and other owners want the prime equity clause closed. They want new contract language restricting international deals going forward, and they will probably get it for future contracts. But here's the problem they cannot solve. Any restriction implemented now does not apply to contracts already signed. Shedeur's deal is protected. Every player who signed a contract containing that same clause can do exactly what Shedeur just did. The NFL cannot retroactively rewrite legal agreements. They are watching a door swing open that they cannot close fast enough. And every star player is watching this. Every agent right now is going through their clients' contracts line by line looking for the same opportunity. Future rookies are going to demand similar provisions. The leverage equation in NFL contract negotiations just changed. And it changed because one player's team did the homework that everyone else ignored. Here's the part that should embarrass the NFL the most. They have been trying to crack the Middle East market for years. Plans for games in Dubai, conversations about Saudi investment, attempts to build brand awareness in a region with enormous spending power and a growing appetite for American sports. And all of that has moved at the speed of bureaucracy. Owner votes, government approvals, league consensus, committee meetings. Shedeur negotiated the same market access in what appears to have been a matter of weeks. A rookie, operating with a small team and a smart legal read, accomplished what the entire NFL business operation has been failing to accomplish for half a decade. That is not just embarrassing. That is a proof of concept. Individual players operating with agility and the right representation can now move faster than the league itself. In a global economy where speed is everything. That is a structural advantage the NFL has no answer for. Let's be direct about Cleveland for a moment because the local narrative is still stuck pretending this quarterback competition with Deshaun Watson is real. Watson is earning $40 million per year on a fully guaranteed contract. The Browns cannot cut him. They cannot trade him at full value. They are financially and contractually locked into a player who, by every observable measure, is no longer performing at the level that contract demands. Meanwhile, Shedeur is out here closing international deals before his first NFL start, building a brand infrastructure that will outlast his playing career regardless of what Andrew Berry or Todd Monken decides about the depth chart. The comparison isn't about talent evaluation, it's about trajectory. One player needs the organization financially, the other does not. That changes everything about how you negotiate, how you compete, and how you lead. Browns fans should actually understand why this is good news. When your quarterback doesn't need the team financially, he plays purely for winning. There is no leverage for the front office to use in bad faith. There is no holdout risk. There is no distraction about contract extensions in year 2. Shedeur is already set. All that remains is proving he's the best player in that building. And if the camp reports and the preparation we've already seen are any indication, that's the part that comes naturally. But pull back even further, because the real significance of this moment is historical. For decades, the NFL operated on a single foundational principle. They control access to wealth. Want generational money? Play in our league. Follow our rules. Accept our contract structure. Be grateful. That system worked as long as players had no alternatives. When endorsement money was limited. When international markets weren't developed. When athletes had no direct platform to reach fans. NIL dismantled the first wall. It gave college athletes the ability to build real financial foundations before going pro, creating a generation of players who arrived in the NFL already stable. International money is the second wall coming down. Oil-rich sovereign wealth funds don't need NFL approval to write a check. They go directly to the players, and the players have every legal right to accept. Shedeur Sanders is the first player to fully exploit this new landscape at the NFL level. He is the first domino, and you cannot unknow what the first domino proved. The blueprint exists now. Every agent in the league has it. Every player with the right contract language can use it. The NFL's leverage over player income, leverage that has been the foundation of their entire labor power structure, has a crack in it that will only widen from here. Roger Goodell spent months building what he thought was an exclusive relationship with the PIF. He wanted the league to be the gatekeeper of Middle Eastern investment in American football. Instead, a 22-year-old from Colorado by way of Jackson State, driving an F8 Ferrari to practice and announcing deals from his birthday party in Texas, just became the face of American football in the Middle East, without asking permission, without needing approval. on without giving the league a single day's notice. The NFL tried to send Shedeur a message by letting him fall to the 5th round. The message backfired. What they intended as humiliation became fuel. What they thought was punishment became the origin story of the exact kind of player they were trying to prevent from existing. One who doesn't need them. One who built the financial independence to operate entirely on his own terms before the league ever handed him a jersey. That is not just a sports story. That is a power story, and the power just shifted. The owners' emergency meeting this morning was damage control for a situation that is already beyond their control. The clause will get closed. New language will get written. But the players who got in before the door shuts, they're already on the other side. And Shedeur Sanders is standing in the middle of that room in a South Sea blue 4x4 waving. If you want to follow exactly how this power struggle between Shedeur and the NFL front offices plays out in real time, every deal, every camp battle, every narrative they try to build against him, hit that subscribe button right now and drop a comment below. Should the NFL be allowed to restrict deals like this, or is Shedeur simply using rules the league itself created? Let me know where you stand. This is the Sanders Report.